Namaste. At the outset, I would like to wish all of you a very, very happy World Earth Day. At the rate at which we are plundering Mother Earth, I just wish our future generations get to see the Earth that we are at least able to see today. Coronavirus is a warning for us not to exploit Mother Nature more. I hope we learn from this exercise. We looked at what creatures like tiger, sloth bear, and elephants taught us. Today we're going to talk about one more talkative species that is there in the forest, the most talkative of creatures in the forest, which are the langurs. Langurs are quite different from the common monkeys, common rhesus monkeys that we see. The langurs that are there in India are primarily the grey langurs. They're called so because their entire body is filled with grey hair and with few spots, the face, the hands, and the tip of the limbs are black in color. There is a belief among Indians that this is the langur which was involved in bringing back Sita from Sri Lanka. So these are langurs which are also called as Hanuman langurs. And the burnt face and the burnt hands actually represent the episode where Hanuman actually burnt the entire uh, uh, town of Ceylon. This is just a belief. They are very sacred. Before we look at what we can learn from these langurs, let's look at some of their facts. Langurs are quite small, but compared to the common langurs, they are quite big. They can grow anywhere up to 79 centimeters from head to body. Their tail alone can grow up to 102 centimeters, which means the tail is actually longer than the body. When you look at them in the forest, when you're walking on the ground, their tail actually is up. They either make a S shape or a U shape with their tail. This is probably maybe the reason why we have this phrase, tail is up, indicating confidence. They are herbivores. Predominantly they feed on leaves, fruits. Sometimes they rely on insects or spiders. They are highly community driven, just like elephants, what we saw yesterday. They live in groups. And something interesting with respect to groups, they have three kinds of groups: all male groups, just like all boys gang, uh, single male group where there is one single male with a lot of females in the group and young ones, and three, mixed group where you can have different males and females as well as young ones as well. The all males group is the most rebellious group, just like the all boys gang. Why should all boys have the fun? So these all male groups tend to be really ferocious when they get to meet the other groups. They tend to fight with the alpha males, and if they win, they have a tendency of killing the young ones of that alpha male such that they can get females and have pups of their own or young ones of their own. They are very ferocious. Now, coming to what we can learn from langurs. Langurs are creatures which can teach us a lot of lessons. One of the biggest lessons that we can learn from them is adaptability. Now, langurs are present almost everywhere. They are present in arid lands, to tropical forests, to evergreen forests, to deciduous. Almost all the types of forests have langurs. They can be seen at the sea level. They can also be seen 13,000 feet above the sea level. They can be seen in forests and they can be seen in urban areas as well. This just indicates how well they adapt to any situation that is presented to them. This is one thing that we need to learn from them as well. Whatever be the situation, whatever be the place, it's important that we adapt to that particular situation and place. Two, we can learn the concept of partnership Langurs have an amazing partnership with cheetal deer in the forest. Langurs and cheetal deers are always found to be together. Even in their water holes, they share the water together. They share the space wherever they are together. This actually helps in many ways because langurs, whenever the groups of cheetal deer and groups of langurs are drinking water, there is always one or two langurs which are at the top of a tree looking out for predators. If they see a predator, usually a tiger or a leopard or wild dogs, the langurs which are there in the forest, in the trees as watch, they give an alarm call. Now this alarm call can be a bark, or it can be a short growl, or it can be a short cough like sound, with which all the other creatures which are drinking water or which are in the ground are alarmed about the predators and choose course. So alarm call is one amazing thing that we observe in the forest, and langurs are really very good at doing that. Langurs also help in throwing down food when they are foraging. So when they are foraging in the forest, the drops from the forage that these langurs drop are excellent source of food for deer and sambar as well. So they help in partnership even there too. On the other hand, what do cheetal deer do for the langurs? Cheetal deer, because of their very good sense of smell, they can also indicate the presence of a predator early to langurs, such that they can really take corrective actions. So the partnership between cheetal deer and langurs teaches us a very important lesson. We need to have a partnership with other creatures in the world as well, in our planet as well, without which our survival looks very, very bleak. 3, they are very good learners. Now, one of the reasons why they are very good learners is because they are trained to keep a watch right from a young age. The moment a langur is about to open its eyes, for a few weeks it will be under the guidance of the herd and of the group, and post that they immediately are given watch duties. So they keep a lookout for predators, keep a lookout for other creatures which can harm them. So they are very good learners with respect to the skills that are necessary for the forest. This was actually employed by the Delhi Municipal Corporation. You would be surprised. In the 2010 Commonwealth Games that was held in New Delhi, Delhi Municipal Corporation employed 38 langurs just to keep a watch on other monkeys and wild animals, ensuring that they do not enter the games area. So they act as security guards as well, which gives us a feeling that they are very good learners. The other thing that we can learn from them, just like what we learned from elephants, they are community helpers. They are social in the way they behave. They work in groups, that's what we said, be it foraging, be it chatting, be it grooming, be it helping the other animals in the forest. They work as a group, be it alarm calls, be it grooming for other parasites which are there. The community takes complete control. 2, they help in rearing the young ones. Like elephants, the young ones are not just the responsibility of the mothers. The young ones are responsibility of the entire group, primarily the females which are there in the group. This again talks about social bonding and community partnership. Langurs are brilliant creatures. When you see them in the forest, you see them chatting, you see them talking, you see them making all sorts of sounds, primarily to help the creatures which are there around. This feeling of helping each other is something that we need to learn from them as well. These are creatures which are fascinating to see in the forest. I hope you get to see them in the wild. Until tomorrow, stay home, stay safe. Prevention is better than cure.